Gets into mathematics, and we don't want to do that tonight. Called an eclipse year. Well, the plane of the orbit of the moon is slightly inclined to the plane of the orbit or the line of sight from the Earth to the Sun. So the moon passes through what's called the nodes, the line of nodes, twice a year. And at that time, either solar eclipses or lunar eclipses or both can happen. When the line of nodes is lined up with the Sun-Earth line, and that's when the moon passes from the high part of the inclination of its orbit to the lower part of the inclination of its orbit. All these things have exquisite cycles too, believe it or not. They can predict these things 18 years in advance. That's called a Saros cycle. And we could go on all night about all this kind of stuff. But we're not gonna. I think we're coming up here pretty soon on the end of totality. The end of totality. Yeah, looking at it in the sky right now, it's very dark. The dark part. Very dark. It was a dark one. They have a scale you can rate it on. This would be a dark one. If it wasn't for the light at the bottom, it would be a very dark one. Which means there isn't a whole lot of aerosols in the Earth's atmosphere right now. At least around, well, where the sunsets and sunrises are right now. So I'm trying to think. Well, it's facing. Forget it. I'm not going to try to do this in my head. It's facing one of the hemispheres right now. It's kind of midway between eastern and western hemispheres. So, go figure. Did you see that? An airplane went right across the face of the moon. Did you see that? Did you see that? Yes. See if we can get a little bit more of a I like the other way better. We're coming out pretty soon here, I can tell. It won't be long. crazy how the band of light around the moon constantly changes. And, but we haven't yet come out of totality yet. And everybody else is gone. But Jim. Oh, by the way, for all you Christians out there, remember, look up, for your redemption's drawing near. That's right. Look to the east, just like I'm looking. As Jesus said, when you begin to see these things come to pass, look up, for your redemption draws near. I think we're coming out of it pretty soon here. Look up, for your redemption is drawing near. Yeah, we're coming out. Just a smidgen now. Just a smidgen. Yep. We'll let it go a little ways into the partial phase, and then we're gonna quit. The moon has been sweeping through from west to east through the dark umbral shadow of the earth, and now it's exiting on the eastern side, and that's why you're seeing that faint little band of light, direct sunlight. There's direct sunlight hitting the moon now, and that little band at the left bottom there. We'll let it go a little further. Looks like a big eyeball, doesn't it? Looking down. It's got cataracts. You know, if you were staying on the moon right now in the light lit part, and you were looking back at Earth, you would see, well, you would see the sun partially eclipsed. Wait a minute. Yeah, you would. And it'll continue to do that even throughout what they call the partial phase, and then what they call the penumbral phases, even where the moon's white again, but it's really not back to what its full brightness. And that won't happen till the moon emerges from what's called the penumbral part of the shadow, which is the kind of grayish part. Again, during the umbral part, the dark, if you were looking, you would just see the Earth and a line, the ring of sunsets around the Earth. And so now, if you were standing in the light part, you would actually see a partial eclipse of the sun being partially eclipsed by the Earth. All right? And it'll continue out to into the penumbral phases, which even goes beyond when the whole moon's white again. Look it up on the web. Total eclipses of the moon and sun, and it'll explain and more than you want to know. Okay, we're going to let it go because the total phase is ended and we're done. So, the end of a tetrad.